The Second Best Wife by Rachel Lindsay. Warning, you will get triggered because this book is premium rage bits. Meet Adam Lester, a 35-year-old lawyer. He's rich, successful. He's also entangled with a woman he's hopelessly in love with called Erica Dukes. The only problem with that is she's his client's wife. So maybe ethical isn't the first word I'd use to describe him. Then there's Erica, a beautiful blonde in her 20s who's married to a man old enough to be her granddad. Why? Because her lifestyle isn't going to fund itself. And finally, we have Julia, Adam's 23-year-old secretary. She's competent, efficient, and he barely notices her unless he needs his morning coffee. But give it a few more chapters. These are the only 3 people you need to remember as we progress. Now, our story begins with an announcement. Erica's husband is dead. Which sounds terrible, unless you're Adam, because now he and Erica can finally stop having an affair and get married. You also have to remember that Erica is a very classy woman, and she willingly married a man old enough to be her father. So to keep it short, she's a professional gold digger, and Adam knows this, but he just doesn't care. He's convinced that they're in love, and so all of that wouldn't matter, right? Wrong. Now, before the late Mr. Dukes passed on, he had one final surprise. His will. In his will, he leaves Erica £3 million and part of his estate on one condition. She cannot remarry for the next 4 years. And this is where things gets interesting because Erica and Adam have a big fight where Erica is like, you seriously cannot expect me to give up £3 million just to marry you. And Adam's like, I thought what we had was real. I may not be as rich as your late husband, but I can provide for you. One thing caught me off guard though. Considering this book was written in the early 1980s and it's a Harley Quinn romance, I wasn't expecting Erica to suggest that they simply live together, have children, and wait out the 4 years before getting married. But Adam is adamant, and he gives Erica an ultimatum. Choose me or choose the money. And of course, Erica chooses £3 million, duh. And Adam's ego is bruised. Now this is where our girl Julia comes in, Adam's robot secretary. And yes, I call her a robot because this woman suppressed her emotions all through this novel. At this time, she had also been dumped by her fiancé Roy, and good riddance if you asked me, because Roy gets a job in Canada and decides that long-distance relationships aren't for him after he meets a Canadian shorty. So he ends their engagement with a letter, and honestly, Julia dodged the bullet with that one. Roy was a controlling, self-absorbed, chauvinistic man. Like, what kind of man dictates a woman's wardrobe? One thing leads to another, and Adam needs a +1 to go to the opera with him, and he suddenly notices that Julia is quite attractive outside the office. And then, after the opera date, he does something even crazier. He asks her to marry him. Not because they have chemistry, but because he's trying to get back at his ex Erica, who's living her best life. And because he thinks that they work so well together in the office. According to Adam, married life can't be so different from running an office. So he tells Julia that he wants an MOC, short for marriage of convenience. And Julia just says yes. Adam picks the wedding date, plans the honeymoon, practically makes every decision about their wedding, and Julia's only contribution is to say I do. All this to get back at a woman who refused to marry him. I was also pissed about this part because Adam was influential enough that Julia really didn't have an option to reject him, because turning him down would mean she would also have to find another job, which was almost impossible at the time the story was written because there weren't a lot of jobs who were willing to employ women. So how much of a choice did she really have? And everything just happened so fast. So the newlyweds go for a month-long honeymoon in India. They visit the Taj Mahal, travel to Kashmir, and we get little snippets of information about them on a little boathouse in Kashmir. Their honeymoon was far more interesting than the actual romance between them. At the boathouse, Julia tells Adam that she isn't ready for anything serious yet, which is understandable when they barely know each other and they're not in love. And this is also an MOC. So Adam says like he's cool with this and promises to give her more time, Or at least that's what he says. By chapter 4, the couples are back in England. Julia is officially Mrs. Adam. She's no longer a secretary, just a wealthy housewife trying to renovate rooms and stay busy. Her first duty as Mrs. Adam is to host a dinner party. And guess what? Adam asks her to invite Erica. Like, what the hell? Apparently, he wants everyone to believe that he's completely over Erica and they ended their breakup on mutual terms. Because nothing screams, I've moved on, quite like inviting your ex to dinner. Awkward. Julia doesn't really like the idea, but she goes along with it anyway. At dinner, Erica tries to stir the pot and cause a scene. But Adam takes her into his study alone so they can talk. Which to me was a very stupid idea because when it comes to Erica, Adam completely loses his ability to think. Another thing I'd like to point out was that a lot of the misunderstandings and bickering in this book wouldn't have existed in the first place if these couples had one proper conversation before getting married. Like Julia and Adam skipped every discussion that actually mattered. Boundaries, expectations, feelings, communication, all of it. And as the marriage goes on, we start to see cracks. Adam starts getting impatient. Remember when he promised Julia like she could take things slowly? Well, apparently, slowly meant about 3 months. Julia hesitates about opening up to Adam because she's terrified of cheating men. Her father cheated, Roy kind of cheated, so obviously she has trust issues. Adam promises Julia that he's never going to cheat on her because, he's married now. Automatically, fidelity starts only after the wedding. And let's also conveniently ignore the fact that this man married Julia while still emotionally obsessed with another man's wife. Then, Roy comes back into the picture after his ass gets dumped by his lover in Canada. But who even cares at this point? He finds his way back to England and by pure coincidence, he bumps into Julia, who's now Mrs. Adam. Not surprising, Roy is hoping that they can be friends again. And like a lost puppy, he's following her around. One night, Adam's desire gets the best of him and he crosses a line with Julia. From that moment, their relationship takes a turn for the worse. And because communication is illegal in this universe, things between our MCs get even messier. Julia starts spending more time with Roy again. Adam's jealousy starts taking over and instead of talking it out, he starts going on business trips more and more, leaving Julia with her shady ex. Erica as well keeps pining after Adam everywhere he goes. She's following him on business trips. She's calling his office line just because this man refuses to tell her to move on. And then we get this dialogue like 8 chapters in where it could have been such a great angst moment. Like the setup was perfect. Julia had reconnected with her ex. Adam finally realizes that he might like her. But here's the problem. We spend almost all of that time inside Adam's head. We watch him feel guilty. We watch him regret his actions. We watch him slowly realize he's in love with Julia. Meanwhile, Julia's emotional journey feels like it's happening somewhere off screen. And I really wish we'd gotten more of her perspective. Then Adam decides he needs to make things right between them. So he buys Julia, wait for it, a cat. A cat named Princess. Oh my god. And I'm sorry, but this storyline went absolutely nowhere. Because Princess basically disappeared after that. This is one of the biggest problems I had with these characters. Nobody communicates. Everybody is so busy trying to hurt each other, prove a point, or win some imaginary competition, and nobody is actually solving anything. Eventually, Julia realizes that she's fallen in love with Adam, and then about 80% of the book, Adam is like, oh, I've fallen in love with her too. Like, sir, where were these feelings hiding in like 3/4 of the novel? Because I was waiting, Julia was waiting, even Princess was probably waiting. And then the story throws one unnecessary twist at the ending. Julia is pregnant. She thinks that maybe this baby will finally bring them closer together. Because the whole reason why Adam wanted to get married so badly to Erica then, and why he wasn't willing to wait was because he wanted to have children. And he didn't want them out of wedlock. So this baby was just like an answer. But when she finally musters up the courage to tell Adam, Adam tells her that he's letting her go so she can be with Roy. And that he thinks that she would be happier with him. So he ends their marriage of convenience and moves out of the house. God of mercy. So while Adam is trying to find a new place, Julia runs into Adam's friend, the guy who gave them the opera tickets. And for the first time, we get some lore on why Adam is so obsessed with winning and keeping up appearances. Surprise, surprise, there's an evil grandfather in the picture. This revelation changes how Julia sees Adam, so when Adam comes home, she doesn't leave. Instead, they finally do what they should have done about 95 pages ago. They talk. They confess their love. Adam finally lets go of Erica. Julia finally lets go of her fears. Everybody gets their own happy ending, except Roy and Erica, of course. This book is definitely never going to be on my reread list. Thank goodness it is not real life. I hope you enjoyed listening to this review as much as I enjoyed talking about it. If you liked this video, please click the like button and consider subscribing so the algorithm recommends more of my videos. You can also watch another one that should pop up on your screen right about now. Stay safe and stay blessed. Bye!